everyone, welcome to Stretch with Jess. We're about to start class. Everyone has found their comfortable seat. We've got a strap and a block, and I'm pleased to share this with you. So, take a deep breath in through your nose, exhale through your mouth, let your eyes close, and just begin to focus on the sound of your breath, slowing down your inhales and your exhales. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, ground through your seat. As you inhale, feel your chest rise. And as you exhale, draw your low abdomen in and up. So just focus on the sound of your breath. And with every inhale, feel length happening through the body. And with every exhale, feel grounding. Take your shoulders and gently slide them up towards your ears, and then roll them back and down, relaxing them down your back. Good. Think about softening the facial muscles and doing a quick scan of the body from head to seat. Noticing what you notice, how your neck feels, your shoulders feel, how your arms feel, where you might be carrying tension or stress, and where you feel really relaxed. Sometimes we tend to just focus on where we feel that tension, where we feel that stress, and we forget to remember that maybe our pinky toe feels really magnificent today. So now would be the time, if you'd like to set an intention for class. And as we spoke about before, this weather tends to bring out some negative feelings. So maybe think about how you can soften today, how you can lighten up. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And with your exhale, bring your chin down towards your chest and feel the back of the neck stretch. Just starting with some neck rolls. You can blink your eyes open or keep them closed. Inhale, bring the right ear up to the right shoulder. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale up to the right. This time pausing here and taking that left hand and bringing it out to the left and maybe walking it away. And feeling that stretch through the neck on the left side, maybe down through the arm. And then keeping the hand there, exhale, chin to chest. And inhale up to the left. And this time taking that right arm and bringing it out to the right, walking it away, noticing where you feel it, down your neck, maybe down your arm. And exhale, chin to chest. And one more time each side. Inhale up to the right and really draw that left shoulder down. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale up to the left, really draw the right shoulder down. Exhale, chin to chest. Blink the eyes open if they're not already. And inhale, lift that chin so it's parallel with the mat. Good. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers and just stretch the palms up. Good. And like you're reaching, stretching like a cat when it wakes up. Good. Stretching side to side. Deepening your breath, maybe trying to make your exhales a little bit longer than your inhales. Good. Take one more inhale, reach up both sides, and exhale, twist to the right. So right hand comes behind you, left hand on right knee. Really roll out your right shoulder. Good. And then look over your right shoulder. And then turn your head and look over your left shoulder. Good. And keeping the twist, turn and look over your right shoulder. And turn and look over your left shoulder. Good. And then find the spot that you really feel it, right? So it might be different for every person. So maybe looking over your left shoulder, you feel more of a stretch. Right? And with every inhale, find length in your spine, and every exhale, try to twist a little bit deeper. Yeah, just 2 more breaths here. lift your arms up overhead. And exhale, twist to the left. So left hand right behind you. Make sure you're not leaning back. Right hand on your right knee. Sitting up nice and tall. And then turn that head over the left shoulder. And over to the right. Good, over to the left. And to the right. Right. Feeling that stretch, keeping it where you need to keep it. With every inhale, finding a little bit more length, and every exhale, maybe twisting a little bit deeper. Good. Inhale, unwind, lift your arms up nice and high, and exhale, fold right over those legs. Good, so fold. And you can let the back round here and relax. Good. Feel your belly expand and contract as you breathe. And then inhale, walk those hands back and come back up and switch the cross of your legs. Good. And once again, fold over those legs. Just stretching out that other hip. Good. And trying to breathe as calmly and smoothly as possible. And then inhale, walk back up and lengthen those legs out long in front of you and just give them a little shake. Good, wiggle your toes. Good. And then from here, bring your right foot to the inside of that left thigh and walk that left heel away. So you feel that you're under those sit bones, and then tense your fingers and turn your torso so that you're more in line with this left knee than you are out into that diagonal space in front of you. And take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, fold over that left leg. So this is not about reaching the foot or the toes, but we have that opportunity to use a strap if we need to. Keeping the shoulders square with the mat, just breathing here. Inhale, finding that length. Exhale, maybe trying to fold a little bit deeper. Notice where you feel the stretch. So maybe you feel it right behind the knee. Maybe you feel it right behind your hamstring, behind your thigh. Right? Maybe some of us feel it in our calf. Maybe we feel it on the other side or in our back. That's what I love about this practice. It's about noticing what you notice. Good. Breathing. With your inhale, come about halfway up, lengthen through your spine, and then exhale, try to fold a little bit deeper here. Good, really flexing that left foot, pointing the toes and the knee up towards the ceiling. Good, and then inhale, walk those hands back and lengthen through the right leg. Taking a moment just to notice the difference in the legs. Maybe one leg feels closer to the mat. Maybe one leg even feels a little bit longer. And then take that left foot and bring it to the inside of that right thigh and walk that right heel out. When you do that, your torso should turn to the left slightly, but then it's up to us to tent those fingers and turn it back. Good. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, fold over the right leg. Good. So this leg, you might feel it in a different spot. Right? You might feel this behind the thigh, and the other side was behind the knee. So once again, noticing the differences. Right, and with every exhale, maybe getting a little bit deeper into the posture. Every inhale, finding a little bit more length. And keeping the shoulders square to the floor. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. So inhale deeply, exhale fully. Again, inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, Come up about halfway, and then exhale, refold. Good, so maybe you get a little bit deeper this time. Good, and then inhale, walk those hands back up and lengthen that left leg, noticing if there's a difference again or what happened now to that right leg now that it was stretched out. Then bring those legs towards each other, maybe the feet touch, right? And instead of pulling fleshy parts away, we've gotten to that habit somehow, kind of shimmy to find your sit bones. There's a lot of nerve endings on our pelvic floor, so every time we move like this, we're disrupting all of that. We don't want to disrupt our body, we want to keep it at peace. So from here, press your hands down beside your hips and lengthen through your spine, and then reach your arms up nice and high. Good. And let your shoulders come up by your ears, and then relax those shoulders down. Good. Draw your low belly in and up, and really press through your heels, but keep your heels down on the mat. Take another inhale, and with a long spine, exhale, hinge forward and fold. Good. So this is another perfect opportunity to use the strap, right? So we don't want to be reaching with all of us, or with all of our arms for those feet, right? It's not about grabbing those feet. Keeping that side body long. Good, you can hold on to your shins, your calves. Right, and finding that same breath. Now, if your hamstrings are screaming at you, which we do not want anything screaming, bend your knees. Right? Then find a little bit more length and get a little bit deeper. Right, listening to our body. Good. Maybe just releasing that head down and feeling that stretch through the back of the neck. Right, you can look to the left, you can look to the right, making sure those shoulders are not so high up by those ears. Good. With your inhale, reach your fingers long, and with your exhale, come back up. Good, and then release those hands down. So we're going to grab onto our block here. We're going to make our way on our back and show you what it's going to look like. So we're going to lay down on our back, lift our hips, and place that block right under the low back, the sacrum. Good. So it's just a lift here and a nice stretch of the abdominal wall and the psoas muscle. Good. So this should feel nice and relaxing, and arms are alongside your body here. Good, and from here we're going to walk that right foot out so that it comes out nice and long, and it stretches the whole top part of the right. Good. And then to deepen the stretch, and I know that we're pretty packed in here tight, but maybe lift your right arm over your head so it reaches behind you, and just let that arm fall down behind you. Good. So yes, drop it down and just stretch it out that way. Perfect. And then find your breath here. Right? Slow breaths. Inhales and exhales. Right? You might feel that your right hip is lower than your left hip. That's okay. Right? Feeling that stretch to the right side of the body, but also noticing what's happening with the back. You can let your eyes close here. Try to relax your body down into the block. You know, it sounds really easy, but it's really hard to relax. So just let your whole weight get into that block. Good. And then finding some belly breath. As you inhale, think about expanding your belly, and as you exhale, drawing the belly in and up. Moving that way. And that right arm is still up over the head. Reach that right arm and think about reaching through the right toes. Good, really expanding through that body. Good, and then slowly bringing that right arm back down toward the side of your body and very slowly bending back into that right knee and putting the right foot on the floor. Good, and just taking 3 breaths here, regulating everything, noticing what's happening with the back, if anything is in fact happening. Good, and then from here, expand or extend the left leg long on the mat. Good, and notice how that feels, and then take that left arm and lift it over the head as well, getting that deeper stretch through the front hip flexor group. Right, and finding your breath here, letting your breath dictate how you're feeling. So the slower and longer that exhale is, the more calm your body's going to become. Right, and you can relax here. This can be make this anything you want it to be, right? So this can be really gentle with that arm here, or you can make it a little bit more active and really reaching through the fingertips and reaching through the left toes and finding a deeper stretch here. And then once again, that secret of relaxing, trying to just let that body relax. Letting the weight of the body, letting the block support you, knowing that that ground underneath you has your back, literally. Breathing. Good, and then really taking that left arm and stretching it, and stretching through the left toes. And then slowly bringing that left arm back, and even more slowly bending into the left knee and bringing that back. And just taking 3 breaths here again. Noticing what you notice. Noticing if the hip points are even here, right? Or if one may be still higher than the other. From here, press through your feet and lift your hips to remove the block from under your low back. Good, and then another 3 breaths, just noticing how your back feels, right? So lower the seat down on the mat. Good, and if it's hard to keep the knees up, you can knock the knees in towards each other, that helps. Good, and then starting to get into our hips. Press down through that left foot and bring the right ankle to the top of the left thigh, figure 4. So this might be enough for you, taking that right hand and pressing on that right thigh, really pressing it away, flexing the right foot to go deeper, lifting that left knee, threading the arms underneath, using that right elbow to help open. We're trying not to lift up, right? You also want to make sure that your chin is not sticking up and reaching towards the ceiling, that your neck spine is nice and long. Good. Good, so really trying to open up that right knee, trying to expand through your collarbones, right? Finding that long breath again. Deep inhales, full exhales. Right, maybe your eyes are still closed. And then slowly release that left foot down. Good. Unhook that right ankle, place the right foot down and switch sides. So now that left ankle comes on top. right? We use that left hand to push the thigh away. I can already feel it in my hips. I don't even have to go further, right? But honor your body, right? So if you feel more of a stretch with your right foot down, stay there. Right? It doesn't always have to look like how everyone else's looks like. Right? This is about getting the most benefit for your body. Good. Make sure that left foot is flexed. Right? Maybe use that left elbow to really open up through that left knee. Right? And again, trying to slightly tuck your chin. Good. Breathing. And then slowly releasing. And this time bringing your feet out wide on the mat. Your knees stay up. Okay. Bring your arms to goalpost arms. So like this. Good. And then from here, let your knees fall over to one side, to the left. Good. And then bring them up and let them fall over to the right. It's better if we all go the same way so we're not knocking knees. Go over to the left. And over to the right. Good. One more time each side. To the left. And to the right. Good. And then bring those knees up and hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side. I'm going to give everyone their strap. All right. So if you don't have it next to you, you want to grab it at this time. Extend your left leg out long. I have one of these straps, but any strap will do. And wrap the strap around the pad of your right foot. Okay. So we're going to extend the right leg up. And I want you to have enough slack on the strap so that your elbows are down, so that you're broadening your collarbones, right? And you're not pulling down on the strap. We want to find space between our femur and our pelvis. So we want to lift up through our heel and then gently draw the strap towards us, getting that nice big stretch to the back of the leg. Now, if our hamstrings are really, really tight, we can bend into that left knee, right? Otherwise, that left leg is long and strong on the mat. Good, and the right leg is straight and reaching up. One of my favorite stretches to do for the legs, the hamstring group. So while you're here, think about that breath again, right? And think about how to soften your body, right? With this weather, how are you going to go about the rest of your day? Once again, make sure those elbows are down so you can open up through your collarbone. And your breath is long, slow. Good, and you're breathing. From here, take the strap and put it into your left hand. Bring your right arm out to the right, back into that goalpost arm, and start to cross the leg just over the body slightly, so the toes line up with that left shoulder. Right? So you might feel this right behind your knee. Right? It's getting into the IT band, the piriformis muscle, really stretching the side of the leg. So you can go a little bit further, right? You find your edge here, but we're keeping the right hip down. right? So it's not lifting up and reaching. We're keeping the right hip down. We're keeping the hips even so that right hip's not creeping up higher than the left hip, and we're just crossing that leg. Good, so our left hand is working, right? But our right arm is relaxed. And if we want to, we can even turn and look at that right hand. Good, and staying here for a bit and breathing. Right, noticing where you feel it. And you can play with it. You can bring it a little bit further or a little bit less. Good, and from here, slowly start to bring that leg back. Take that right hand to the straps, bring the left arm out, or take your left hand and put it on your left hip to keep that hip down, and start to open up your right leg to the right. Your toes reaching up towards your ear, opening up through the pelvis. Good, and feeling that inner thigh stretch, right? And breathing. Using your right elbow maybe as a kickstand here. And trying not to let the whole body come up, right? Tilting to the right. And trying to keep that leg straight. Good, and finding the breath. From here, using your inner thigh, lift the leg back up, and then slowly release that leg long on the mat. Good, release your strap. Put your strap in your hand. Don't wrap it around the left foot yet. Right? And just notice the difference between the legs. Right? You probably want to peek and be like, is my leg really longer? It is. Right? So maybe that leg feels closer to the mat. Maybe it feels wider on the mat. Like this is where the leg wants to be. Stretched out, open. Good. Notice if you're breathing deeper. Right? Notice if you feel it even in your back. We'll take a full breath. Inhale. Sigh it out through the mouth. And bring that left knee into the chest and wrap the strap around the pad of that left foot and extend that leg. So we're laying down. Good. That right leg is out long. And we're not pulling down. We're just gently have enough slack to have our elbows down and gently drawing the knee in or the leg in towards the face. So we want to try to have a straight leg, not a bent knee. And that might be that your leg is straight out or angled out in front of you. And that is fine. We'll get a better hamstring stretch that way if the leg has length in it. Right, really feeling the collarbones widen, your shoulders plugging into the mat. And that right leg long on the mat. Okay? Your feet don't have to be flexed or pointed. You can be relaxed. And finding that nice stretch. same thing on this side. Now we'll take that strap into the right hand. Left arm comes out, and we start to cross the leg over the body without lifting up the hip. Right? And we want it just basically so that toe is in line with the opposite shoulder. And bringing it anywhere across that torso to really feel that stretch. And we all feel it in somewhat of a different place, but generally the same behind that knee or up the side of the leg. And you can look over to the left. Maybe that feels good and extends the stretch, makes it deeper. So making sure that that hip doesn't pop up, that that right leg is really long on the mat. And I'm finding your nice, calm, soothing breath here. Good. I love that I'm looking around. I see eyes closed. But that doesn't mean you have to keep your eyes closed. It's really easy to go into a flow class and move the body quickly and lose your thoughts. But when we're sitting here, laying here, holding our legs, right, it's really easy to be thinking, when is this going to be over? You know, what's coming next? Here's my laundry list of things to do today. With your inhale, slowly lift that leg back up. Switch the strap into your left hand. Maybe your right hand comes to your right hip, and slowly bring that leg out to the side. Okay, but now's the time, the perfect time to think about your intention again. Come back to it. Right? Or if you don't want to, maybe now's the time to just think about breathing, right? And listening to the sound of your breath. About the stretch that that inner thigh is getting, and how exciting it's going to be when we finally put the leg back down and it has also lengthened. And slowly bringing that leg back up. Good, taking a full breath and slowly releasing the leg down. Releasing the strap, we don't need it anymore. And just noticing what you notice. The body probably feels really nice on the mat. From here, hug your knees into your chest. And give yourself a hug and rock side to side. And we're coming into reclined cow face pose, or supine gomukhasana. And so what that's going to look like is, with the knees in the chest, we're going to take that right knee and bring it towards you, the left knee slightly away. And then we're going to cross that right thigh on top of the left thigh. So our knees are kind of stacked. Good. And when we want to look at our heels and make sure that one heel is not lower than the other, we're going to take our hands and bring them behind our thighs and hug our knees into our chest. So this is one option. The second option, if you can reach, is taking your hands underneath your feet, right? And holding your feet this way, spiraling your toes up towards the ceiling. That's more of a stretch. And then bending into those elbows and bringing the knees into the chest. Really feel this through the hips, right? And you're in charge of how deep you want it to be. But once again, that spine is long on the neck. So your heads are down, right? And your chins are slightly tucked and not up. Good, and the closer we bring the knees in, the more of a stretch. I really like this way because we use gravity on our side, right? Traditional Gomukhasana would be sitting with one knee stacked on the other, which is not as accessible to everyone as this reclined one is. Right, so finding your breath here again. Think about breathing into the hips. Good, and then from here, slowly release, unwind those legs, and switch sides. So left thigh on top of right thigh. Right, to start, just hug behind the knees and give them a squeeze. Right, I can feel it here. Right, to go further, maybe grabbing onto those feet, lifting those heels up and drawing those knees in. The thing to remember about stretching is that it doesn't always have to be so intense. I think sometimes we push and we feel like we're not doing our body good if we don't feel this intense stretch. Sometimes I like to think about it like a rubber band. If you take a rubber band and you just lightly stretch it, it doesn't really look like it's stretched, but you know that you're pulling it, so it's stretched. And our bodies are somewhat similar, right? So maybe it doesn't feel so intense, like completely stretched out, but you are working it. If you have your feet, maybe try to lift those feet up just a little bit more, right? Maybe try to bend your elbows and bring those knees in a little bit closer. And then slowly unwind those legs. Give them a squeeze. And then put those feet down on the mat. Good. Your arms are just alongside your body. Maybe lift up your hips and then place them back down, lengthening through your spine. And think about imprinting your spine on the mat. And then come back to those goalpost arms. They're laying down. Good. And then bringing the feet really close to the seat, lift up your hips, and then turn your hips to the right and place that right hip down, kind of right in between where the shoulder blades would be, and then let your right knee come down and your left leg come down. All right, so you're in a supine twist, but you're not just turning your knees to the right, you're replacing where the hips sit. And you can take your right hand and bring it to your hip or to your top leg. And then if you want even deeper, you can look over towards that left hand. So I tend to feel that one right here, my low back. And you just want the weight of the knees to fall over. Good, and you want to find your breath. Let your eyes close. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths. So inhale through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Inhale. Last one. Good. Slowly bring those knees back up. Good. Reset that spine on the mat, right? Maybe lift the hips, drop them down a little bit lower. And then for the other side. So heels walk in nice and close, lift the seat, turn it to the left, right? Place that left hip down and let the knees come over. Maybe your left hand comes to the top of your right thigh, the outside. Maybe you look over at your right hand. Your whole body is relaxed here. Notice if this side feels different than the other side. And then maybe ask yourself why it might feel different. Maybe you overextend on one side on a daily basis and don't even realize it. Take those 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale. Sigh it out. Inhale. Last one. Bring your knees back up. Extra hug. Good. Our final posture. Sending our legs out long on the mat. Let your heels be wider than your hips. Let your pinky toes ground down away. Let your arms come alongside your body. Think about drawing your shoulder blades in towards each other and then sliding them down the back. Good. If you're feeling like you need a lot of grounding today, you can place your palms down on the mat. You can even bend your knees and put your feet on the mat. But if you're feeling like you want to surrender, to be open and receptive to this vulnerable posture, then turn those palms up and just let the body be soft. begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Circle your wrist and your ankles. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a great big hug. Everyone roll to their left side. Take a moment here, finding that breath one more time. And then use your top hand to press you back up to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed or gaze soft. Hands resting wherever they feel comfortable. I thank you for joining me today, coming out in the rain. And to quote Bob Marley once again, some of us feel the rain, others just get wet. So go out and feel all that you can feel and have a wonderful Friday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.